Welcome to the Truly Julie podcast, where we aim to evolve, elevate, and enrich our lives. Episode 8. USA, USA. That is right, folks. We are back in the USA. I feel like these days no one says that, champ, but you know what? I'm bringing it back. Can you believe it? We are back home after 8 months of nomadic life, which is why I should explain that this is going to be probably one of my shortest podcast episodes, because re-entry has been hectic. It feels so good to be home. But then, I'll be honest, it doesn't feel great to be back in LA. Let me try to explain. It's because nobody actually prepares you for re-entry back into the US way of life. In this podcast, I'm going to try to not just bash on America, don't worry. I'm going to do the pros and cons of what it feels like to be back stateside after almost a year of traveling the world. Should we start with the easy and obvious one? Nobody prepares you for how ugly the streets of just like any average street, actually. I mean, like, we're coming off of Europe, where there are just like beautiful cobblestone streets and Baroque historic buildings everywhere. And I come back here to the US and it's like every corner is some sort of like Joann Fabrics, PetSmarts type strip mall. And I don't know, like 7-Elevens and Costco, and just hideous. Sorry, America. And sort of on the same topic of the hideous strip malls and streets is the fact that nobody prepares you for re-entry in the sense that you will never be walking again. Like, it is the least walk-friendly country. It must be. And LA especially is the least walking friendly city. I feel like at any moment I could get hit by a car, or, I mean, quite frankly, certain corners, I mean, they're just like encampments and people who berate you because they're not mentally well, or they're drunk, or they're on drugs. It just is, it's a lot. And I just really miss walking, like 10 miles a day, frolicking along the beautiful streets of Europe or Asia. So when you've been away and you're coming back to the US, no one is preparing you for a life of just living in your car. I'm going to flip it to the positive side. Okay, we got here with 3 days till planning Lulu's birthday party. I'm sorry, throwing Lulu's birthday party. And in no country could we throw a decent birthday party with that short time of notice like the US. Because maybe it's a bad thing, but I mean, you can just Amazon things overnight. Maybe sometimes even within the same day. And maybe that's why this city and this country is becoming like a total dumpster, in the sense of like people just throwing away things because it's so easy to replace and get something new, blah, blah, blah. But in this circumstance of trying to throw a 7-year-old's birthday party with 3 days to go, only in the US. Only in the US could we make that birthday party possible on such a short time span. I mean, we did a Parisian themed birthday party with 4 girls sleeping over. But no, it can't just be all Parisian. We had to have a British high tea ceremony at the party, and a red carpet fashion show, and an arts and crafts table where we made fancy sunglasses. So sunglasses that we would add like little Hello Kitty type accoutrements on. They turned out really cute, by the way. So if you're just listening on the podcast, I highly recommend going on my YouTube and watching just at least the sunglasses part, because I would wear these sunglasses. Back to being Debbie Downer, the con of being back, and a part that nobody prepares you for, is just the cost of everything, especially food. My God, you guys, We ate like kings and queens all over the world, including Japan, like Tokyo, an expensive city. Michelin-starred restaurants in France, and we had like a pretty normal sized bill, Whereas here, I mean, you go for like a mediocre meal out and it's at least gonna be $100. I mean, I went to brunch with two of my girlfriends. It was a little over $100 for brunch. We had like a breakfast burrito and 3 coffees. I mean, I don't understand it. Food is so expensive here and no one prepares you for that. And I want to end this on a positive note. So another pro of things that nobody prepares you for coming back to the States is, at least here in California, my gosh, all the little things we loved, or the big things we loved, from different countries from around the world, you can get right here, right? So our first weekend back, we had a birthday party in Palos Verdes. And I mean, looking over that bluff at the Pacific Ocean and seeing dolphins and whatnot, we felt like we were back in Portugal. Those dramatic cliffs like overlooking the ocean. And then, you drive an hour south, you're in the desert with Joshua tree that look like, like Dr. Seuss trees everywhere. And then you drive north to Santa Barbara or even further or even a little bit inland. You're in the wine country. So you feel like you're in some parts of France. So all this to say, I just feel like all the things that wowed us from around the world, right? Like each country is like known for this thing. Like you can get all of that here in California. And so it's just like almost overwhelming in the sense of like, oh, wow, like this is what gravitated me towards this city, this state. And, here's the thing, like you might not live in California, but I guarantee wherever you live, if you drive 2 hours in a certain direction, you're probably going to be in a completely different setting. And I think that's pretty cool. And lucky for us, we can literally walk out of our front door, walk, 15 feet, and be on the sand, walk 30 feet more and be surfing in the water. So, all the places we visited, surfing destination wise, it was a challenge, right? Like to try to figure out where to rent boards and then like, how are you going to carry that board from your Airbnb or your hotel? Like nothing logistically was easy as far as surfing anywhere else besides our home. Even if we have to hop in our car and go surf a different break because let's say Venice isn't working, it's still so much easier and so worth it because the other break I'm talking about, of course, is Malibu. And Malibu during this time of year is pure magic. And you quickly realize why Malibu is considered a world-class surf break. It's gotta be like number 1 or number 2, in my opinion. And trust me, I have surfed all over the world. Costa Rica, Morocco, Hawaii. Like I've surfed so many amazing breaks. And I think Malibu is easily in the top 3, easily. Okay, so that wraps up my shortest podcast episode yet. Like I said, re-entry life has been a lot, okay? And so I did not have time to produce my normal 15 to 20 minute episode. But I really think consistency matters. And I made a promise to myself and to you, the viewers and listeners, that I'm going to pump out a new episode every 2 weeks. So there. Signing off from my very own bedroom. So exciting. Isn't it cute? It feels so good to be home, sleeping in our own bed with our own pillows. But most of all, I love our kitchen and like having real knives. We have yet to find an Airbnb that has real knives. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And I think the next episode should be pretty amazing because I've got a very special guest joining me. Till then.